Somalis, what do you contribute to the African economy? I mean, what do you bring to the table?
You have no business being this spiteful and bigoted against Somalis, but for the purposes of educating you, because I know that many South Africans do not have the same opinion as you do, just like many Somalis do not have the opinion of not being black. Let me take you back to history and teach you about the cordial and very close relationships between the South African government and the Somali government, okay? Instead of talking about what Somalia brings on the table, let's talk about what it brought to the table. Somalia helped South Africans fight against the apartheid regime. Yep, you have that right. It is 100% true. You can go look it up for yourself. But let's talk about how they did it. Like, did we just, go to international forums and say, oh, the apartheid regime should end? Or did Somalis actually spend their money, their taxpayers' money and their dimes on helping South Africans fight and revolt against the apartheid regime? Truth be told, we did. Our very own money, our very own taxpayers' money was being used to support the ANC. Somalis supported ANC fighters. They welcomed them while they were exiled from South Africa. And guess what? They were even given Somali passports so that they could travel around the world to different international forums and fight for the cause of South African liberation. So the next time you open your mouth about Somalia having nothing to bring to the table, just remember that we fought with South Africa. We stood with South Africa in their revolt against the apartheid regime. Thank you.
Give us the article. If you are PP, God, so you must go to your country and tell your government. You must go to your country and tell your government. If you where are is that made the government?
We're not a country that has enough resources to take care of its own people. How are we now extending an olive branch to everyone in the world to say, come in?
The fact that South Africa cannot take care of its own people is entirely due to incompetence. It has nothing to do with limited resources. You cannot blame foreigners for overcrowded schools and hospitals when the budget, which was meant to build new schools and new hospitals, is being spent on luxury cars and mansions. Taxpayer money, the same resources you claim are limited, is being swallowed up by corruption. It's your government that's draining South Africa's resources. South Africa is not a poor country. South Africa is a country that is poorly governed. We have the capacity to provide food, education, and housing for 200 million people. If only our government would just stop stealing. You don't believe me? Pakistan has a GDP of $370 billion. Do you know what the population of Pakistan is? 250 million. According to the World Bank, 68% of South Africa's population are living in poverty, but only 25% of Pakistan's population are living in poverty. So Pakistan has a smaller GDP and a population which is 4 times larger. Yet, you claim that South Africa doesn't have enough resources to accommodate everyone who lives here. If you truly believe foreigners are the reason this country is struggling, then you are delusional. And whenever I bring facts to expose their ignorance, they panic. They call me naive, emotional, and uninformed. They start shouting at me. The reason why South Africans are so gullible and easily manipulated by Jacinta and Operation Dudula is because they have a superiority complex. South Africans genuinely believe that people from other African countries are inferior to them. I have an idea. Instead of yelling at foreigners to go back home, why don't you yell at your government to do its job? Why do you keep voting for incompetent people?
Right now, Somali immigrants who were deported from USA are facing a harsh reality. But what is surprising people more is the response coming from other Africans, especially in South Africa. Some are offering understandings, others are pushing backhand. And today we are going to talk about why this conversation is happening, what is really being said, and why emotions are running so high on all sides. Watch till the end because this is bigger than Somalis, bigger than South Africa, bigger than the rest of Africa. This is about pressure, identity, and limited resources. Watch these clips, guys.
The Somali community has requested a meeting with the board of directors of this hospital. The same board that has denied our people numerous times a meeting. Secondly, the Somalis are saying they are here to say they are unhappy about the language barrier, number one, and the culture barrier. Now for us it's very simple. They must rather go to their hospitals in Somalia than to come make tracks or to come sit in boardrooms and say this is unhappiness. You don't have an option to be happy in this country. How do you allow a Somalian foreign community and you deny your own people that live around these areas? They never ever had an opportunity to give us opportunity of a platform to discuss issues in this hospital. And here we see now foreigners are being given an opportunity to engage with management. Basically from us, it's unacceptable. These guys got shops all around here. They want to walk into a boardroom and to dictate. They want their language, they want their culture respected. Jonge mensen, wat zijn nonsense zijn? Waar krijg je recht? In which country will you ever get that right?
Over the past few weeks, Somali immigrants deported from the US have been sharing their frustrations, fear, and even disappointment online. For many, America represented stability, and deportation feels like being pushed into uncertainty. But as for these stories spread, they did not just reach Somalis, they reached other Africans, and not everyone responded with sympathy, especially in countries that are already struggling with unemployment, housing shortages, and service delivery. We all know that some of African countries, they are home for refugees and they struggle with all of that. Let's watch this next clip, guys.
These are Somalian guys. They were trying to leave South Africa because they don't have documents. They were apprehended. But let me tell you what this guy did before I narrate the whole story to you. These guys were genius. Now look at what they did. Now this is how the truck looked like from outside. Now this is how the truck looked like from inside. Now these guys were staying inside pretending to load a truck of pipe outside the country, out of the country. So but they were apprehended. Now this is because of it. These guys, Somalia, recently have been suffering a lot from black South Africa because black South African claim Somalian and Ethiopia are selling poison to their kids and to them. But these same guys are claiming Somalians are selling poison and this to their children. They will still go and loot that shop. Now it's a lot for Somalian people. So recently Somalia want to leave. A lot of Somalians want to leave the country, but the problem is they cannot leave the country because they don't have the document. Some of them don't have passports, some of them their document have expired, and once your document have expired, you cannot leave the country until you issue a new one. Those that their passport have expired, you issue a new one. Now these guys, the attack, the everything is too much from the black South Africa, and this guy said, okay, let us go. You don't want us in your country. But South Africans are not allowing these people to go, and these guys come up with this logic, but they were still apprehended.
So in an African country like South Africa, many people are saying something very simple. We are struggling too. High unemployment, there is rise in crimes, and we have even limited public services. Millions of citizens already feel left behind. So when conversations turn to absorbing more people into the country, even fellow Africans, they feel overwhelmed. And the importance of this is not about hating the Somali people. It is about fear that there is simply not enough resources to go around to help the Africans and also accommodate other people from other countries. Yeah.
When we say we are facing two challenges, we cannot manage handling strike and abusement of law enforcement. We are getting tired now, to be honest. Any law enforcement, let's say police officer, he can come to our shop. He don't treat us as a human being. I don't know. Sometimes I used to ask myself, why these days as if like we don't deserve respect from police officers? Why? What is happening? Are we doing wrong thing? So when I call your name, brother, please, can you just give for these people at least some chance, not even permanent change? If you see now around, if you go with your car, you can't see shop open. They are scared. Like, meaning to say, that does not mean that police officers or law enforcement, they mustn't come to our business. No. The way they are coming, they are not coming according to law. We agree, a police officer, he should come, is more than welcome. Even when we see around our business, we feel safe. They are not coming according to law. They can just come, ask, open. I know, even if we try to ask him, who are you, how do you come, I can open before. You know, they will decide to break it. About paper, you are mentioning, we must have a paper. We want to be documented. We want to have trading license as well. About paper, if you want me, last time I told them that I was supposed to ask this question, immigration officer. You know why I say so? Like, let's say I can go to the Maraba, start saying that, no, I'm here, I want to have a paper, can you help me? Are not willing to help us. But they are arresting us, whereas they know that they are not willing to give us paper. It is not our fault. It is not. We want to have paper, proper paper. Yeah. Police officer, he can come, he want to do only one at the same time. He want to do SARS job, he want to do metro job, he want to do immigration job, he want to do everything at the same time. We cannot have all those things at the same time. I rather have some thousands of money to give. You know, sorry, but I'm being emotional, so I hope you allow me to say whatever I have to say. So what I wanted to say, now at least deliver a message for your colleagues. They mustn't abuse us, not meaning to say they mustn't do their job. They must do, not in that way abusing and beating up and telling us something, taking our stuff. Let me ask one question. Police station, have you ever seen any cigarette that they collect from the shop and in police station? Have you ever seen? Where are they taking? Nothing. Okay. We used to have a slip, like when we buy a cigarette, obviously we buy with a slip. We try to show them the slip. Here we buy. Can I take you where I bought? Wholesaler, British, Cotley and Stephenson. Can I call or can you call and confirm? Here is a receipt. Can you? They don't even give us chance. They just take that cigarette. When we go to the police station, no, they took my cigarette, here is the slip. Have you ever received my stock here? No. Where is it going? So, what I say, please, I'm begging you on behalf of these people. We need rest and relief. I thank you.
We have seen several viral clips that have fueled these debates. So on one side, Somali voices speaking about identity, dignity, and even feeling misunderstood. On the other hand, Africans, including South Africans, saying their countries cannot become solutions for problems created elsewhere. Yes, so these statements are controversial, yes, but they reflect real frustration, and ignoring that frustration doesn't make all of this disappear. Let's continue with these clips and then I'll come back with more comments.
very, very vital I wish to talk about.
But do you think it's normal to operate in somebody's house by force? When the owner of the house tells you to leave, you don't want to, you refuse to leave. And I think, what type of disrespect is that one? But do you think this is Somalia? Do you think this is Pakistan or wherever you come from, where you can just, how you can just, you people are literally doing us please in a foreign land.
They want to march against us, fighting for our children. They want to march. So in this case, you can call your march.
You're not going to hijack our houses. You're not going to hijack the economic space that South Africans are supposed to operate in. We are here to send that message to you, to give that message to you. Panamania, please, let's not waste time. I agree everything you said according to the agreement expired and on top of that, they are refusing to sign or comply. So why do you call the brother?
Well, here is the uncomfortable truth about all of this. This conflict is less about the immigrants and more about pressure. Pressure on African economies, pressure on housing, pressure on jobs, and even social system. Pressure that is caused by global inequality. So blaming an entire group is wrong, but pretending resources are limited is also unrealistic.
You can't make South Africa a solution to countries having problems. South Africa is a country that has to take care of its own problems. South Africa is a country that currently has the highest unemployment rates in the world. You can't say because 50,000 people in Congo or wherever are having problems with their government, we become the home to those people. Where are these people going to be living? That's where we have squatter camps and informal settlements. Where they're going to school, those same schools that our children are not getting spots in. Where are they going to be getting healthcare? In those same hospitals where our grannies now have to wait for hours and hours in queues and sleep on beds and sleep on the floor instead of sleeping on beds and giving birth every 5 minutes. We can't have a system that allows refugees to just come. Everyone can be a refugee in this country. We are not a country that has enough resources to take care of its own people. How are we now extending an olive branch to everyone in the world to say come in? Yes, South Africa signed some United Nations treaties years ago, but everything can be reviewed looking at the current situation. We don't have a cap on the number of refugees that we can have. In the UK and other places, they say limited to 10,000 people. Why are we the only country where there's an unlimited number of refugees that can just walk in? Will we have a future for this country? Where are our children going to go to?
Empathy and capacity don't always move at the same speed. And this is not as simple as reacting to other people's struggle in a system that keeps failing everyone. So I would like to ask you guys a very simple question, and I would love for us to have a discussion in the comment section, and kindly remember to keep it respectful. So, do you think African countries are being asked to do too much, or should Africans support each other no matter the circumstances? Let me know in the comment section, but remember to keep it respectful. In case you're new on this channel, consider subscribing to join our family. Thank you so much for watching this video up to this particular point. Remember to like the video and leave a comment respectively. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.